Starting off the top three, at number 3 is Grave of the Fireflies. This is perhaps the best anime movie I have ever seen thus far by 10 years of anime fandom. And perhaps my personal favorite Studio Ghibli title as well. This is focused on a pair of siblings named Setsuko and Seita who are struggling on their own in the final months ending in World War II Japan as they try to survive on their own, hoping for their father to return home from fighting in the war, and after their mother was killed during an air raid by U.S. forces at the start of the film. Right from the get-go, the movie tells you that things are going to be very bleak with the outcome for their characters, as shown when you see the ghost of Seita and him dying from malnutrition and starvation before the opening credits to the movie start up. This movie isn't afraid to depict the harshness of wars. We do see the high body count and Setsuko and Seita trying to be as holding on to whatever pride they can without relying on others, as they believe their father would come back home from the war, and be not knowing of the harsh realities to fight in such a war as events with the movie press on. If you're all looking for an emotionally powerful anime made to get invested into, you can't go wrong with Grave of the Fireflies, especially as it's one of film critic Roger Ebert's personal favorite movies. Next up at number 2 is Monster. This was quite a trip for me back in 2009. This 2004 to 2005 74 episode anime is focused on the efforts of one Dr. Tenma going around Europe and trying to find the whereabouts and origins concerning a young man whose life he saved named Johann Lieber. The show's main focus is on how it's possible on one's morality being challenged, as Johann is perhaps one of the most thrilling characters, probably one of the best villains I've seen in an anime, as he isn't afraid to mess with to push the sanity of those he encounters to his breaking point, as he's very manipulative and he isn't afraid to make use of people as his pawns for his greater schemes, or even kill them off if they're a threat to his goals. And Tenma is trying to find. Tenma comes across some pretty shocking information regarding Johann's origins, which keeps the viewer guessing if he was a victim of government corruption or if he truly was an irredeemable monster, as the series tells. There is also focus on a number of other characters who are connected to Johann or the secret German experiments of Kinderheim that the series elaborates on, that do get their psychological focus, and the series isn't afraid to paint things as bleak and dark as possible, and it's what I found to be the best TV anime title I've ever had a chance of seeing thus far in my fandom. If you're looking for a good psychological thriller anime, especially one that's for a good long run, then you can't go wrong with Monster. And finally, what I found to be the number 1 best anime that I've ever had a chance of seeing is Rurouni Kenshin Trust and Betrayal. bye-bye with this prequel OVA series to the Rurouni Kenshin TV title does away with the slapstick and filler that you've seen for the TV series and paints a more bleak and serious look into the past life of Echidamora when he used to be an assassin during the final years of the Tokugawa shogunate period in Japan and meet his former lover Tomori as we come to see his tragic past. The series is I do consider the series to be one of the best animated titles I've come to see. Its action scenes are very fluid and intense. The character designs are very realistic in their detail, much more so than you would find in the TV anime adaptation. And the soundtrack to the series is emotionally powerful, featuring some traditional musical pieces that fit in very perfectly with the intense and tragic developments that Kenshin undergoes as he fights in the final years of the Tokugawa era to bring about the Meiji Restoration period. Of course, watching this requires you to have some prior knowledge of the Rurouni Kenshin series, along with having a very strong understanding of the history of feudal Japan, considering that the final years of the Tokugawa period were quite brutal before they led up to the Meiji Restoration. But if you meet those two criteria, then I can guarantee you will come across what I found to be the greatest anime I've ever had a chance of seeing. Alright, that's it for this countdown of mine. I will see you on my next video.